Shit, another bad mark. They told me to take science because it leads to heaps of careers. But I'm not even good at it and it's not going to get me anywhere. Why did I take this stupid subject?
Declining student engagement in science has become a developing trend. This has presented huge challenges for scientists and educators for some time. The nature of science is about the philosophical and practical understanding of the processes and reasoning of science, including its nature as a very human endeavour. It's knowing the difference between hypotheses, theories and laws. It's understanding that solid scientific ideas have many defined parameters. It's realising the search for certainty in much of science is a fool's game, but to ignore levels of confidence makes you a bigger fool.
Everybody needs a good understanding of it, not just scientists. How can we deal with problems like global warming if we can't even understand the problem?
People tend to forget about teachers that we're not glorified babysitters. We actually are in the schools for a specific reason. We're here to educate the children.
Humour, a teacher who connects with their students, engages with them. Some teachers you don't feel comfortable getting your test marked, they can be really condescending.
I used to love science. And Mr. B, he'd always encourage you to ask questions.
Okay, eyes for the board. Susie, Joanne, look, atoms contain nucleus and electrons. This class is about memorization. Now, you, Susie, my love, you need to get through all this to get through your course.
I felt I had to speak out. Last week, one of my best and brightest students, she came to me and was told,
You've got to drop it because your school rank's going to be affected.
I can't drop the subject, I need it for my course.
Just drop it. You're mucking around in class.
Oh, I'm trying my hardest. I can't do any more than I'm doing.
I became a science teacher because I wanted to instill a love of learning in my students and help them develop critical thinking skills, not just learning chemical equations by rote. But when the government cuts funding and all of our spare time is taken up with this administrative crap, what are we to do?
The government's cut the funding to the Australian Climate Change Authority, the CSIRO, ARENA. All scientific research facilities have had their funding cut. Why would anyone want to become a scientist?
children these days are bombarded with Facebook, MSN, Instagram, and many other social networking sites. So it's our role as teachers to work out how we are going to integrate this into the classroom.
We need more scientists trained as teachers. Science is a way of thinking, critical thinking. And if we don't have people that understand science and the way that science works, it's our future generation, our kids, that are going to be suffering.
We have a two-tier system. Some kids go on to higher education and training. The others are left to fend for themselves. But hey, we need more street sweepers, don't we?
We need to move away from the traditional approach.
More teacher training? When the hell do we get the time for that?
Teach kids to think, not just to learn.
And it works in other countries. We're falling behind.
We need a whole new curriculum, a paradigm shift in the way that science is taught.
We need more funding, more resources,
and more time teaching.
And less time testing.